Hey everybody, Frank Gray here with the National Real Estate Post. Want to remind you that Carl White and the Marketing Animals, they have a podcast which is called Loan Officer Freedom, and it's rad. They have interviews and tips and training, all kinds of really cool stuff, and it's all for free. They do it every couple of weeks. You just go to their podcast site and you sign up. You can listen to it on the web or on iTunes or whatever. And it's Carl White, and he's got such great ideas, and he's done so well for so many loan originators. You got to check it out. It's free. So get there by clicking this banner you see right down here. Over on your right, you might have to scroll down a little bit to see it, or if you're watching us on Facebook, there's a link up above. Okay, in the news today, HUD Secretary Ben Carson's home in Virginia was recently vandalized while he and his family were away. Carson said his Virginia home was vandalized with anti-Trump rhetoric, but neighbors were kind enough to clean up most of it before they got home. Now, it's not the first time that Dr. Carson has been subject to hate crimes. In a Facebook post, he said, "Several years ago, we bought a farm in rural Maryland. One of the neighbors immediately put up a Confederate flag. A friend of ours, who's an African-American 3-star general, was coming to visit and immediately turned around, concluding that he was in the wrong place. Interestingly, all the other neighbors immediately put up American flags, shaming the other neighbor who took down the Confederate flag." Carson went on to finish his post saying, "Hatred and bigotry unfortunately still exists in our country, and we must all continue to fight it, but let's use the right tools." By the way, that neighbor who put up the Confederate flag subsequently became friendly. That is the likely outcome if we just learn to be neighborly and to get to know each other. And I gotta tell you, what happened to Dr. Carson and his family? It's a bunch of crap. Hey, personally, I'm sick to death of people being to each other. Listen, get over it and be nice to each other. A lack of real estate inventory is one of the reasons being cited for the lower profits made by the GSEs last quarter. There simply aren't as many sales being made, hence fewer loans being made. So, obviously less profits. Now, what's worse is that when inventory slims out, demand increases, and with increased demand, one of the best ways to get an offer accepted as a buyer is to offer cash for the house. With a cash offer, no loans needed, of course, and the deal goes quicker. And more importantly, it's easier to close on a deal with a low appraisal with a cash buyer because oftentimes that's not part of the contract. They take the house at that price, whether it appraises or not. So here's a quote from Sean Becchetti, chief economist at Freddie Mac, as taken from a DS News story on this piece. "Usually not many people like to invest a lot of cash into real estate, which is illiquid and has high transaction costs, which opens up home ownership to millions by furnishing mortgage capital to lenders. However, in the current highly competitive housing market, a cash offer is an effective way to gain an advantage over other bidders. In a cash sale, the seller doesn't have to worry about the buyer's ability to obtain a mortgage or the chances that an appraisal will come in below the agreed sales price, and each cash sale means one less mortgage origination." Yeah, well, I tell you, man, that certainly seems to be the case in our area over here in Northern California. My wife, she's got some buyers, and we actually showed them like 20 properties over a 3-week period. They made 3 offers before they got one accepted. Now over here, sellers, what they're doing is they're putting their house on the market, they're letting offers roll in, and then reviewing them like a week or 2 down the road to pick the best offer. And I gotta believe that these buyers, they lost out on a couple of those houses because of cash deals that had come through. All right, kind of a short show today, but what's my takeaway from it all? First of all, listen, just get over yourself if you need to, okay? Just live and let live. Am I right? And as far as the market goes, regardless where you're at, just keep at it. Rates are still at historic lows. Inventory, it'll come back around. It always does. Guidelines are loosening up, and there's plenty of buyers out there that want to buy. So just stay in the fight. Don't quit, do more. One of the things that our sales manager over here at our office tells our sales team every single morning is, do better today than you did yesterday. And before they leave at the end of the day, he reminds them that they can do better tomorrow than they did today. It's a good thought. It's something to think about and chew on. But I think as long as you do that, everything's going to be A-okay. You guys have a fantastic day. Do me a favor, leave your comments down below.